There you are. You're now live.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, can we have an approval of the agenda, please? Somebody want to make that motion? Okay, Pam, John. There are no presentations, Jennifer.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
Yes.
You have a
Yes.
motion. You need to vote on your motion.
Got it. Okay, all in favor? Thank you. No
And there were no
deputation.
deputations or presentations.
Okay, thank you. Can we have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting as circulated, or are there any problems with them? We're okay with them, Bob and John? All in favor of the minutes being approved? Thank you. Okay, on to your reports then, Jennifer.
Okay. Okay, so business arising is fairly short. We have finally got the Stainer branch door fixed. So the alarm is now in sync with the accessibility button, and the accessibility button works. So that's a huge relief. That's done. We are continuing to print QR codes for free, but how much longer that will be required isn't up to us. I can tell you that all the full-time staff that attended the OLA Super Conference are very happy with what they took in and are now going back and dipping into the sessions that they were in conflict with the ones that they attended. And I see Kimberly is now with us.
Kimberly.
I hope, Diane, you and Mary also enjoyed and got a lot.
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay, so this Thursday, the Simcoe County Library Cooperatives CEOs Committee is meeting with Alan Greenwood at the county to discuss the proposed revisions to the Simcoe County Library Cooperative, and also what will be happening with Gail's retirement. Gail Hall is retiring at the end of this month. She is the CEO for the Simcoe County Library Cooperative. I did bring up at our previous meeting on January 24th, all the points the board asked me to raise, and the feeling from the other CEOs where they were pretty much unanimous in agreement with our sentiments and our points that we wanted discussed. So that is going forward. I'm kind of on vacation this week and next for some of it, but after the meeting, I will try to get an email out to you advising you of the next steps and any progress that's made at the February 17th meeting. And that's pretty much it from the cooperative's point of view. We will really miss Gail, and can I just say she's been off on holidays for I think the last 4 weeks, and she has worked the entire time to try to clean everything up. So may all staff be that hardworking. Bob, did you have a question?
So at the meeting that the CEO's meeting for the county, you said that they had agreed with basically what we had proposed.
Yeah.
What else happened at that meeting? What was the conclusion of that meeting? Because are they going to move forward with any of that, or?
Well, the conclusion was that we really need to meet with Gail's superior to discuss some of these points and to get a little more clarification on the issues that we were most concerned about. And so that's what we'll be doing on Thursday. He now is totally aware that a CEO has to be in place to be able to make certain decisions.
Oh, good.
That it's a requirement under the act, can't get away from that. It is a unionized environment, so that's the other aspect. You can't just take components of the CEO's position and give them to other library staff because they're unionized, and they can't take on management responsibility when they're in a union position. So we're looking at all of this and talking to him about that. And I know there are some other things that currently are escaping me, but that's the point where we're at now. We're very happy that he's willing to meet with us, and I'll let you know how we proceed from there. But as I've pointed out many times, I mean, no system is perfect. Can we improve the way the cooperative works? Yes, I'm sure we can improve everything, but to try to drastically change it would diminish the value of the service for everyone in the county. Because every library system in the county utilizes it, except for the two separated cities. So I'll certainly let you know how that goes collectively, but it's a good signal that he's willing to take a meeting with us.
So that he's going to be at the meeting on Thursday?
Yes.
When is it, my understanding from our last meeting was that they're going to be making a decision. At least county council is expected to make a decision in February.
The
correct?
report going to, my understanding is that the report will be going to county council before the end of this month, which is why we need to meet with Mr. Greenwood and talk about some of the issues all the boards are concerned about and all the CEOs are, and to get some clarification on his level of understanding of some of the complexities that are involved.
Do we have a feeling then for when county council is going to be reviewing it, discussing it, approving it?
Your worship, when is the council meeting this month? Is it, I can't think of the date. The 27th sticks in my head, but.
Yeah, Jennifer, Bob, I just looked it up. Actually, it is a county council and committee of the whole combined meeting happening on Tuesday, the 22nd.
Right.
So recommendations that come from the governmental review committee and the task force on programs, such as the report that was received by that committee, go to the committee. So if it's on the agenda on 22nd, it will be part of the committee of the whole section of the meeting, which would then rise it to the next county council meeting, which I guess would be March. But I will be very interested in seeing the results of that too. And I'm interested to know if I can jump in and ask Jennifer, who is attending the meeting on Thursday?
It will be all the CEOs of the public libraries in.
That are part of the cooperative?
Yeah, which is
Okay.
all of them.
Oh, that are the
except
county, yeah.
the separated cities and Alan Greenwood. I am not aware of any other member of staff from the county who will be attending other than Mr. Greenwood.
Okay.
Jennifer, is that a public meeting?
No.
It would not be, no.
No. Okay.
That's why I wouldn't get invited.
But is the county council meeting public? The one on the 22nd?
Yes, the county council meetings are streamed on YouTube, so they are public meetings, yes. But the meeting that Jennifer's speaking about would just be a staff meeting.
Yes, yes, understood. Thank you.
What time is the meeting of county council?
On the 22nd?
Yeah, sorry, county council meetings always begin at 9 o'clock. Again, like their council meeting and committee meeting, so it's hard to say where that would actually pop up as far as the actual timing goes, but probably no earlier than 9:15 in the morning.
Okay. And your worship, when does the agenda go up?
The agenda should be appearing. Today is Tuesday.
Okay.
Today's Tuesday, correct? Yeah. So it should be Wednesday afternoon. It could pop up, which is tomorrow. So that report may not be attached, given that the senior staff person, Mr. Greenwood, would need to prepare a report if he has any additional comments. And oftentimes, as is the case, the clerk's department will supplement the report or add something to the actual agenda once it's been published. But, you know, in the past, it's just as an aside for all of you to know, county council has had some enormous agendas of recent. We had one that had some 1,150 pages of material to read for a council meeting. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a full book of material, right?
War and Peace in a bit.
Pretty much. And to be honest, that's a bit of a daunting task for any counselor to try to review that material. So it's becoming a bit of a problem. be honest. And I think it's frankly because of Zoom, where, we're being inundated with reports and they just come up and fly by so quickly. So anyway, that's me being aside. Sorry, back to you, Jennifer.
Well, that's all I got to say. So I'll certainly get back to you, all of you, subsequent to the meeting on Thursday to let you know what's moving forward on that.
So
And then I would encourage you to attend, to watch the meeting on the 22nd, and certainly to look at the agenda.
it probably won't even come up on the 22nd then if he has to do his report.
Well, we'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah. Okay,
Doesn't hurt to tune in and find out.
sure. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Jennifer.
And so that's it for the business arising. The CEO's report, I can tell you that I called it the Sunnydale branch, damn. Been here too long. New Lowell branch alarm has been fixed. And I already told you that the Stainer branch alarm and accessibility button are working properly. We're currently waiting on a date for them to come into Creemore and deal with the issue there, which is the personal alarm. But they have to actually, they're going to have to replace our personal alarm device. So right now staff have been instructed, Michelle, please make sure the circulation clerks are doing this. If they are working alone, they should be carrying the phone with them. Normally the procedure is when you're working alone, you carry the personal alarm. But right now we're working on carrying the phone. This won't last much longer. I expect them in this week. And, most of the time there are 2 people in the building. Okay. Grand opening is still scheduled for May 14th, unless the weather isn't good, and then it's the next day. All the senior staff will be in attendance, and they will be providing programming and information to attendees. There'll be a number of stations for people to move through in the parking lot, in the building, and in the landscape green area. And we've had lots of cooperation in terms of planning from the Parks, Culture and Recreation Department. We thank them for that. And your worship and our board chair, you'll be expected to make short speeches.
Keyword.
Which will start at 10 a.m. And I will say something as well. So, it's really just to, well, you know what to say, I'm sure. If you don't, get in touch with me later and I can give you some pointers. It's an award-winning building. It's when we can open it fully and do everything we want to do in it, I think the community is just going to be, they're gobsmacked right now with the building, and I think they'll be even more excited when we can do more with it. Performance reviews for all staff except one staff who's on leave.
Hold up there, Jennifer, if you don't mind.
Yes. Go ahead.
I had some questions with regard to the invitation.
Yeah.
How is it being distributed?
And I'll turn that one over to our chief planner.
Hi there, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so what you have in front of you right now is a save the date. Okay, it is not the official invitation that will be going out shortly. We're actually going to go with that look. It's from the 1988 actual opening of the old branch. And we're going to be celebrating the fact that there's been 134 years of library service in Clearview. That's pretty special, 134 years. So we're getting a list of all those that attended that 1988 celebration. They're going to be our special honorary guests. And then we're going to be working with all the different mediums, from paper invitations to Facebook invitations, to newspaper call outs, to radio as well. So we'll certainly be spreading the word. Do you have any other suggestions, Bob?
Well, yes. What about our donors?
Yeah, no, we have basically, Gail and I are working on an invitation list. So if you want to give me those names, we'll make sure they get a personalized invitation as well too.
I've got them in my office.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
our CEO has those.
Yeah,
I've got
okay,
them in
no
my
worries.
office. So, yeah, just
So-
remind me the next time I'm in.
Okay, yeah, no, we aim to get those out. It's only February the 15th today. This is 8 weeks away, April, March, May. Sorry, my math there. No, but we have a bit of a timeline. So we're hoping to have a finalized guest list for the special guests by the end of February. So in 2 weeks' time.
So then the next thing that I think needs to be considered, considering this is our opening, is that what progress have we made on recognition signs for our donors? And where, and have we decided what spaces are going to be allotted to our donors? Those have to be taken care of certainly well before the May 14th date comes up.
I think that's an April project. I think by then we'll be, okay, I don't have a magic crystal ball here, but I'm thinking that by then there may be a lot more time being spent by staff in the branch. It's almost impossible to put all this together when we're working independently and half of the time from home. So we also need to get in touch with some of the donors because they didn't all specify what would be their first preference. And the last 2 years have been hell on wheels, I think, for every public library staff member in terms of trying to get everything done. So the short answer is there hasn't been much done, but the planning is in place to move forward on it the end of March and through April. So it should be in place for the opening.
So I just think we have to be cognizant of the fact that suppliers of signs may not be running at full capacity.
If I went out tomorrow and ordered the signs, they may not be there by May 14th. I think that's something that we just have to recognize that, and we've had this even with the Trillium grant that we received, the Resilient Communities grant. We waited almost 6 months to get the first allotment of laptops because of part issues. Normally, when I order from Dell, we are a customer with them, and as a charity have an incredibly good rate. But normally I would get them within a few weeks, and it took 6 months. And Dell is a good company. It's not like they're. If I had thought, if normally it took them 6 months, I would never deal with them again. But I don't think even if we had this all set up right now, you would necessarily see all the signs in place. I mean, things like the book, book plates, that we can do very easily, that we can do in-house.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger signs, we want to ensure that it incorporates the logo and your worship, you've got a question.
Actually, I was just going to give you a quick prop there, and that is that, at the Township of Clearview, we have a very active communications department and a very talented staff member there. And so if your signs that are needed for your donors are not here in time for your event,
Yes.
give her a couple of days and she will have something made that can be the interim sign, which I'm sure will look lovely in graphic form, but it may be in paper or cardboard format. But the point is that certainly something can be made to acknowledge our donors in time for the opening, and we'll make sure that we do that. But I do appreciate what you're saying about the challenges of trying to get things delivered with the challenges we're all having with delivery times for anything. So
Yeah.
Good luck with that, Jennifer.
Okay, and once again with my time, I did have it right in my head. It's 12 weeks away, and there's means and ways of getting things done. So we'll be fine.
But yes, thank you for reminding me of that, Your Worship. I know that if we need her, Drew will do an excellent job. Bob, was there anything else related to the donor recognition?
Not at this time, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm on vacation. Hello. I am working the next 2 weeks for about half of that time, but I'm scheduled to be doing it from home. And Michelle, we have a staff member who's gone on unexpectedly on short-term disability. So Michelle has kindly said that she will not be taking vacation and will be working through this period, which means that her backup will not have to shorten her short-term disability state. And she should be back next week at any rate. 2020 audited financial statements. We still do not have them. No fault of our township treasurer. It's just, another fallout of the pandemic. I have finally gotten in touch with somebody at the ministry, and they have said, just attach them to your grant application when you get them. So we're not going to have to pay them back for the 2020 public library operating grant in the amount of $25,803. Everything's going to be fine. They just need that final piece of information. The deadline was March 1st. I don't know if we're going to get it by March 1st. If I get it before March 1st, I will come in and submit it. So that's been taken care of. Canada Summer Jobs Grant, we have applied, and I'm working on the annual report for the ministry. I'm waiting for some information. Part of the report requires that we get statistical information from the Simcoe County Library Cooperative. So that's something that Gail Hull, as CEO for the cooperative, is working on this week. So I will certainly get the annual report to the ministry done within the timeline. In terms of strategic plan review, there's not too much, nothing in terms of transition to the new Stainer branch. Accessibility, I've advised you about the fix of the Stainer branch button. Okay, and we are currently writing our general contractor to get some things, accessibility items in the new Lowell branch addressed. And we're looking at hopefully this week to get that done. Organizational review and update. All the staff have seen the approved job descriptions, particularly not just for their jobs, but for all the jobs, and copies are now part of the branch policy binders. So the information is out there. Your worship, did you have a question, or were you just moving around? Okay. Space development and modernization. We had a problem with the pop-up library device. They are sending us another one, which is coming by UPS from the States, and they got in touch with us and started asking what our GST number was and who's going to pay the brokerage fee. And I flipped my lid and got in touch with Baker and Taylor and White Hots, and they have taken that out of our hands and guaranteed that it will get here as soon as possible, and we won't be paying a dime.
Okay, Jennifer, may I interject?
Yep.
It arrived today. It's on your desk.
Excellent. See, good working. Nothing to report on the greening of the library, although we would like it green instead of white around all our libraries. And staff board and volunteer development is primarily related to the super conference. It was really good considering it was virtual. It's always better in person, but it is nice that we have until the end of August to continue to dip, those of us who are registered, to continue to dip in and see sessions. Some of them were really informative.
Yeah.
Bless you, Diane. I would say that having it virtual, I know they're hoping to go live next year. I hope they have maybe some mix, because it's the expense to go down there in terms of, hotel rooms. The meals aren't so much, and we usually carpool, but the hotel rooms cost, it's a factor, and also having to replace staff. So normally, the 5 of us who are full-time cannot all go to the conference. And this, when it's virtual, you can, because, you can do it when things are slow at work, or you've got until August 31st to see it all. So I'm really hoping that going forward, there's some kind of mix. I can tell you that the Ontario Library Association, of course, it's their conference, because everybody's been having financial difficulties because of the pandemic. Many municipalities, have been reining things in because of the cost of PPE and other things related to it. The money going into Ontario Library Association has been reduced, also because, their main money makers are the conference, right? And when you're doing it virtually, you can't take in as much money as when you've got the exhibitors all there with booths, and they look at it as a great way to sell, with the result that the OLA staff have been working reduced work weeks. So if you're trying to get anything from them, and if you're contacting them and you're having slow response, first off, get in touch with me and I'll try to hurry things up. But the main reason is that they've, a lot of them are working from home, and they're all working reduced weeks. Okay, and that's it for the report. Now, the first set of statistics are for December 2021, and you do have them in the agenda package I sent out. But the day after I sent that out, I got the final statistics from the county for the January 2022. So that is, if you go to the website, you can pull that down. And I don't know whether anyone, and Bob, yeah.
Where on the website?
Okay, so when you go to find the agenda on the website,
Mhm.
it's part of the agenda now. So we pulled the old agenda down and
I checked half an hour ago. It wasn't there.
okay, well, I don't,
There's a 2-page agenda, but that's all that's there.
well, what website are you talking about?
Well, I guess that's the Clearview Township website.
Okay, well, the Clearview Township only posts the agenda. You have to go to our website to get the package.
So could I ask you where on that website? Because I could not
Yep,
find it.
I'm just
sorry.
going in there right now. So it's under About Us at the top. So if you
Okay.
click on About Us, and then you'll see welcome, blah, blah, blah. And after you get the little blurb on the reopening February 2nd, which I can have taken down, it gives you the Clearview Public Library Board and a strategic plan. And then it says Clearview Public Library Board's next meeting agenda, February 2022. And if you click on that, it will give you the agenda as it is complete.
Okay,
I can't get it to load, so I'm hoping it's in there.
yeah, the joys
It's
of rural.
there. I found it. It's there.
Okay, that's great. So yeah, always go to About Us, and all the agendas since we started putting them online are in there. So are there any questions about the statistics?
No.
I can't see all of you, so. Here, okay, I've switched to gallery, so
Okay. Okay. I know we've talked about the introduction or the invitation to the opening, grand opening.
That's more save the date. It's not the actual invitation. Okay, so
Okay.
save the date. Think like a wedding. Okay.
Thanks, Michelle.
and the next item is the article that was written by Pamela Young and Canadian Architect about the Stainer branch. I did email it all out to you, but it
Mhm.
always looks nicer when you see it as it actually would appear in the journal itself.
Right.
Can I ask if we've given any consideration to making that public someplace?
I am going to have that loaded onto the website. Yeah,
Okay.
I just haven't done that yet, but it's coming.
I wonder if Discover Clearview might find a use for it.
It's a
On
good
the Clearview site too, yeah.
Yep, what I will do is I will share it with the township communications and marketing coordinator. And she will know where best to get it out there.
Sounds good.
But it will go up on our website as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Good.
And the next item is the Clearview Public Library bank accounts reports for January 2022.
Okay, any questions, sir? Does anyone have any new business to propose or bring up? Bob?
I'm just wondering whether we have any news from anyone about changing in the opening for Stainer, for our library branches, given the changes that the province has made to reopening.
Okay, so I can advise you that I've been in touch with the CAO of the township today, and we have a senior management team meeting on Thursday. And before that meeting, which will be in the afternoon, he'll be meeting with all the other CAOs of the county with the Simcoe Muskoka Medical Officer of Health to discuss what the health unit wants in place, because the province can lessen basically whatever they like, and they have said what they're looking at in terms of dates and things that the restrictions will be lifted, but it's up to health unit medical officer of health whether they feel in their region some things have to be continued or some other factor. So we want to look at them at what's coming out of that. And also we want to tie in with what the township is doing so that we don't look like, the township's doing this and we're doing something totally different. There should be some cohesion there. So I would expect that by Friday, there will be some decisions taken on. We are open to the public now, but I think the next step, we're currently working in teams, the same as the township is. If that continues, then we'll continue not being open on Tuesday because we simply can't do it and work with teams. We don't have sufficient staffing. But if when we stop working in teams, Bob, we will reopen on Tuesdays. And I would expect that the first step before we get to that is that we will increase the amount of time people can be in the branch. We will increase the amount of time people can use public computers, and we will open up the tutorial rooms and the group study room in the Steiner branch. So I think that I don't have dates yet because I need that information from the meeting and from the Simcoe Muskoka Medical Officer of Health about what we need for our region, but those are the first steps. And I think probably the next step is when we're not working in teams again, reopening on Tuesday.
Yeah, I went online to see if there was something in the province's news release, and once again, as usual, the libraries weren't even mentioned. So I was wondering whether anything might have come from OLA to tell us.
Haven't heard anything from OLA or from the Federation of Ontario Public Libraries yet. I think they're waiting to see whether the province gets more specific now that that information has been rolled out, because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But those are the steps I think we're going to be seeing. We pretty much planned to the end of the summer to not be doing in person, but if things really open up, we might be doing some things in person beginning probably in June. All right, but right now, like March break is going to be virtual because you need more than 2 weeks to plan what you're going to do for a whole crap loading little kids. So that'll be virtual, but these things are coming. So at least now the steps that we'll be moving towards. Yeah, but as I say, we want to do that looking like a cohesive unit with the rest of the township and in light of whatever the medical officer of health is advising municipalities.
Great.
Jennifer, can I just jump in with a comment?
Sure.
Certainly, we are waiting to hear from the medical officer of health for Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit, and you're correct. The CAO, I also consulted with him today, and he confirmed that they are waiting to hear for direction about the operation of the municipality. But there was something we should all keep in mind as part of the announcement that the Premier made while he's targeting the capacity limits, et cetera, and suggesting that the vaccine passport system may be deleted. They did encourage and make it clear that the mask wearing indoors, hand sanitization, and social distancing remain in place. And so masking is still going to be a requirement. So all of the steps that we've made at the township, both at the library and at our recreation center and at our admin center, in regards to our barriers and facilities like hand sanitizing stations, et cetera, and the little dots on the floor, all of that is going to remain in place, even after whatever announcement finally comes. So we expect that that's going to be in place for some time. So I would hope that the library will continue to do that as well.
Absolutely. Our plan is to follow the lead from the municipality in that. And, when we're dealing with the capacity limits, the province has had libraries at 50% capacity limit for some time. Our capacity limit that I've imposed is much lower. And the reason is because our capacity limits in the buildings are pretty high. But if I only have 1 or 2 people in a branch, there's a limit to how well they can ensure that people are maintaining social distancing and wearing their masks properly, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we've had those lower limits in place. So we will try to increase the limits, but I also have to take into account that if I've only got this many staff, you can only reasonably ensure that we're following the requirements in that regard if you've got a certain number of people in the building.
Right.
Unlike your mother, we don't have eyes in the back of our heads.
Okay, any other new business that anyone would like to bring up? No, I guess that's it then. So we'll see everybody next Tuesday for the CEO performance appraisal.
Can I just ask, was there a special invite sent on that? I looked at my email. I didn't see, was there a special Zoom meeting set up for that? Or is
I
it-
haven't set up the Zoom meeting
Oh,
yet.
okay. I just wondered, I was looking for it. I
haven't
didn't
missed
see it. Yet.
anything. I haven't done it, but I.
No problem. I just thought I'd ask. Sorry.
No, she will.
Then I'll make the motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. And
I'll
we-
second it.
Second, okay. All in favor? Good.
Bye.
See you next week, guys.
All right, great.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jennifer.
Adios all.